It's recording now. So we're going to be writing exponential equations from tables. Okay, it's the same process over and over again. So make sure y'all have your notes out because you can't memorize how to do this. You gotta do it out. Okay, so make sure you're taking notes. So quick recap from last class. Oops. What does the A represent? Beautiful, beautiful. The A here represents the y-intercept, and the B represents the either exponential growth or decay.
Isn't it? Oh, I'm thinking of the concept before it about the up and right. I thought it was slope. I was thinking slope.
You can think of it as slope, but it's the way we find it is going to be different than the way we find slope. So that's why I don't want to say slope. It's the rate. And so if my B is greater than 1, what does that mean?
It's gonna be but it's gonna be like exponential.
Perfect. Exponential growth. Yep. Increasing from left to right. And if my B is between 0 and 1, it's going to be exponential decay. So that's a quick recap from last class. These are the things that I want you to have solidified in your brain and feel confident about. Okay? Okay. So this is what we just said. So A is the starting value, the y-intercept. B is the amount that it multiplies by. So you're going to see what I mean by multiplies in a minute. So quickly write down this table. Quickly. Like really quickly. You left me. Oh, did it really? Yeah. You want to come sit on the stool here so you can see what I'm doing? What, baby?
I'm gonna go look in the gym.
Oh, I'm sorry, baby.
My iPad just died.
I was like, who left? My iPad just died.
096,552, right?
056,992.
What's your phone number?
No, that's not my number. Too late.
Good job, Miss Patterson. I'm proud you remembered.
What, baby?
I said, good job, Miss Patterson. I'm proud you remembered.
I did, but it's also on the board now.
You're cheating.
I'm cheating, yes. In my room? Oh.
In the school?
Okay, guys. So let's figure out what we're looking for are our A and our B values. So remember, A is the y-intercept, right? This is our starting amount. Well, looking at the table, does it show us what our y-intercept is?
7.
7, right? When x is 0, y is 7. Okay? When x is 0, y is 7. That 0.07 is on the y-axis. So there's my A value. So my A value is 7 because that's the y-intercept.
Why did you say all that stuff?
Because I want to make sure it's thoroughly explained. You'll appreciate me later. Okay, now let's look at these values, the y values. From 0 going up, are these y values increasing or decreasing? Increasing. So I already know that this is going to be exponential growth. I know that this is going to be exponential growth. Okay, because my y values are increasing. They went from 7 to 14 to 28 to 56. We just need to figure out what they're increasing by. Okay. So so with slope, we do rise over run. And that's like we're subtracting our y's from our x's. But with exponential, we're trying to see what it's multiplying by. We want to figure out from one y to the next what it's multiplying by. And I know some of you can do in your head. Okay, but I want to show you out how to do it, okay? So as we increase by 1 on the x-axis, I'm trying to figure out from 7 to 14 what I'm multiplying to get from 1 to the next. So obviously some of you can do this in your head. 7 times what will give me 14? 2, right? And we can see if that matches throughout the whole thing. From 14 to 28, what would I have to do? Multiply by what? 2. 14 times 2 is 28. 28 to 56?
2.
Times 2. Now, what if I did not mentally know that in my head? How could I figure out what it was multiplying by? I could divide it. I could do 56 divided by 28, and that would give me 2. I could do 28 divided by 14, and that would give me 2. I could do 14 divided by 7, and that would give me 2. To figure out what it was multiplying by, I can go backwards by dividing. I know you can't see that. Let me change the color.
What's that?
Huh? So to figure out what it was multiplying by, I can always go backwards and divide to see how I got from one number to the next. So this is easy because, and we'll learn how to do it when it gets harder later. We're just going to do the simple stuff today. If it's increasing by 1 on the x, I can easily just see what it's multiplying by on the y to get my b value. So my b value here is 2 because it's multiplying by 2. Increasing by a rate of 2. Okay, however you want to state that. Okay, so my equation for this table would be y equals 7 times 2 to the power of x, because my a is 7 and my b is 2. Hey, what do you think? What do you think? Okay, we got calculators, so this shouldn't be too terrible. So if I was to graph, I'm not even going to try to graph it actually, but you would know that you'll notice it has an exponential. It should look something like this, where it's exponential growth. Well, I mean, I wasn't going to accurately do it. That's what I was saying. Okay, may I move on from this slide? Okay, let's try another. So quickly write down this table. You want some paper? You think if we hide in, no, never mind. I'm recording. Let me not see that. That's like, I'm gonna say something about the fire, you know?
Well, you can just stop very quick, can't you?
I could, but no. I was gonna say something about. Okay, so let's look at this table. What is the y-intercept?
2.
18.
Okay, 18. How do we know that that is the y-intercept?
Because the x is equal to 0.
Okay, because when the x is 0, the y is 18. So that point, 0, 18, would be on the y-axis. That's my y-intercept. Okay, so anytime x is 0, that tells you that that's the y-intercept right there. Okay, that makes sense? Okay, so my a is equal to 18. Okay, this stands for y-intercept. Now we need to figure out what the b value is. Well, looking at the y values, is this increasing or decreasing? Decreasing, 54, 18, 6, 2. This is going down. So I know that my b value is going to be between 0 and 1. I know this is going to be exponential decay. So we need to figure out what it's multiplying by from 54. Well, since all of these are increasing by 1 on the x, I can easily just figure out the other side. So I have to figure out to 54 to 18, What is it multiplying by? I need to
One
figure out.
third.
Thank you, Alexa. 18 to 6. What is multiplying
Sorry.
by? You're okay. And from 6 to 2. Now, mentally, I don't know what that is. I'm like, I don't know what that's multiplying by. It has to be a decimal. So remember, we can always go backwards. We can divide backwards to figure out what it's multiplying by. So if I go backwards, 2 divided by 6, when I do that in my calculator, that's going to give me 1/3. 6 divided by 18, that's also going to give me 1/3. 18 divided by 54, that's also going to give me 1/3. So since it's when I divide it, it gives me 1/3, I know it's multiplying by 1/3 to get to my next number. So here, the B value would be 1/3. Are you vibing with me? Do you understand? If you don't understand, speak up now.
I put point three repeating.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So my B value is 1/3.
So I would be 1 plus 18. Okay. Or no, 4 parentheses, then 1/3.
To the power of x, yes. Okay, so that would be the equation for this table. We got it? We got it?
Yeah. We're done. Let's go.
LOL. Okay, let's try another one.
We got 9 minutes.
All right, we can do it. Let's try another one. Quickly write it down. Quickly write it down. Well, yeah, but we got to figure it out, sweetheart. Write it down. I know. It's meant to get harder. It wasn't meant to be that easy the whole time.
Honestly, for some reason, I really feel like going to ELA for some reason.
Awesome. I'm sure Mr. Hampton really would appreciate that. Okay. Wait a minute. This ain't showing me my y-intercept. What am I gonna do? So how about first we find our B value? Let's do that first. So everyone find the B value. Boy, you gotta do some work. Stop just saying stuff out loud. Is multiplying times 1? No, this is just what I'm doing on the side. We're trying to figure out what it's multiplying by to our y values.
Letting me do negative. Oh wait.
No,
Yes.
please don't stop saying this random stuff. Use a calculator. Thank you. Desmos times 2, yes. Okay, so -1 times 2 would give me -2. -2 times 2 would give me -4. -4 times 2 will give me -8. Okay, so my B value here Hey, Justin. Yeah. Hold on. I want to get done with this. Okay, so I'm multiplying by 2. Okay, so my B value here is 2. Okay, now if I know that my B value is 2, and I need to find my y-intercept. Alexa, don't say anything. I want to find my y-intercept, but the table's not showing me.
Isn't it that line?
No.
It's on that
But this is not an accurate representation. How could I find my y-intercept?
You do division.
Okay, keep going, Jada. Keep going.
So it's, since you're multiplying by 2, would you do a wait, is it -1 divided by 2? Or 2 divided by negative?
-1 divided by 2.
Okay.
So what Jaden just said is you could go backwards. When if we know that it's multiplying by 2 to get to the next thing, then we know we can go backwards and divide by 2 to figure out what was before this point. So if I know, because right here, this is 1. So all I have to go is backwards 1 more to get when x is 0. So to figure out when x is 0, I can use this y value and divide by 2 to figure out my other one, which would be
-0.5.
-0.5. I'm gonna just put, I like fraction roots today. -1/2, okay, or -0.5. So this keeps in step with everything we just did because it would multiply by 2 to get to the next thing. So my a value here is -1/2. I feel though that people did not get that. So if you didn't, I need you to say something. Zoomies? Yeah, I know, which just makes me think you don't actually understand. Alexa, Rodolfo, good? Babe, good?
Yep, good.
Rodolfo, you still awake?
I'm straight.
All right. Babe, you good?
Sorry, I'm good.
All right, cool. So my equation here would be what?
Y equals -1/2.
Would it be the half? Oh, hold on.
Yes. Okay. Next one, I'm looking for other people to say stuff that I haven't heard from. Write it down. Write it down. No. Okay, quickly. I told you I want to finish before 8. Come on.
Wait, we're doing good things?
No, I said I want to finish before.
Oh, I heard good things.
We had already done them. You can tell me in a minute.
Oh,
I just
okay.
want to finish this before Zoom. Okay, someone I haven't heard from. How would I figure out I can't figure out my y-intercept yet, so I need to figure out my p-value. Noah, can you restore my faith in you and do this one? Okay. No. Anyone other than Alexa can find the y-intercept? Oh, Zoomy.
I'm not necessarily sure how to.
Okay. Rodolfo, what about you? You awake still? I'm straight.
Okay.
What was the question?
Rodolfo.
Rudy, are you straight?
Oh my gosh. This is recorded. Okay, so just a reminder. in order to have found what we were multiplying by, we could.
Oh, I know how to do this next part. Is that what you were asking?
I said other than Alexa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't listening.
So we knew that we could divide in order to find what we're multiplying by, right? 1/4. 1 divided by 4 gave us 1/4. So that's why I knew we were multiplying by 1/4 or 0.25. Oops, I know. So to find our y-intercept, so listen to this if you're not understanding. To find our y-intercept, we can keep going backwards because it's 1 right here. And so to find out when x is 0, I can go backwards, right? I can go backwards. So to figure out when x is 0, I would divide by 1/4. I know that's what you said. I was asking Azumi though. So I can divide by 1/4, go backwards to figure out what this y value is.
What is it?
So, or you can do divided by 0.25 if you're not comfortable with the fractions. And what is 4 divided by 0.25?
8.
16, yes.
Ah.
16. Okay. So 16 is our A value. 16 is our y-intercept. Okay, because, and I can make sure I'm right, 16 times 1/4 or 0.25 is 4. So it follows this pattern. So my equation is y equals 16, 1/4 to the power of x. My A value and my B value.
Oh,
Does that make sense now or no?
yeah, it is. It does.
So what we'll do, we'll not do all these, but what we'll do is go to the assignment for today and work that together. And then so we can finish early, okay? So